So I just read a comment where someone said when they wake up, they instantly feel like something's wrong. And I felt like I want to talk about this because this is also something that I went through. You know, as a child, it was like so peaceful. You wake up, you already hear the birds sing. You see the rays of the sun coming through the window, and it's so peaceful, and everything is like in order, and everything. You know, you feel like God is kissing you on the forehead. But when you go through some difficult life circumstances and you're damaging your nervous system, you wake up in hell. It's, even though nothing's happening, the room looks dark. The heart starts beating. You feel like everyone's out to get you, or everything is out to get you. Like, it's just a different dimension. And it truly is. Like, in the mind, people say heaven and hell are states of mind, right? And if you're lucky, you had a childhood where you felt safe and you could taste heaven in mind, you know, instead of being called heaven. And but when you do things throughout your life, like smoking a lot of weed or drinking alcohol or being dependent on circumstances to be happy when those circumstances never really happen, so you're really unhappy or you have a bad negative self-esteem, you know, it's just you're gonna damage your nervous system and you're gonna wake up like you feel like shit and you're anxious and depressed and you don't know how to go back into this state of mind that feels good, that feels like heaven, because you're in hell. Like, experientially, you feel like you're in hell. And I'm just thinking, what should I say? Like, I went through, like, I took LSD one time because I really wanted to, like, I wasn't trying to suppress it by consuming this. I was actually trying to face it. So I had a lot of negative stuff in my being that wanted to come out, and I was trying to suppress it. And also I was scared of hell because, wait, is the window open? No. Because for a certain time I was a Christian, and it taught me to be scared of hell, and also taught me to be scared of my so-called savior. So I was just scared of darkness and demons and devil, and I was kind of obsessed with, but in a sick way, obsessed with trying to find the truth. And also I tried to suppress those feelings by smoking weed. So I really damaged my nervous system to the point where I woke up every morning and I felt like life is really not enjoyable. So this is why I can relate with this comment. And I took LSD. And by the way, I'm not trying to motivate you to take this. This is not my responsibility. It's yours. But I took it, and it wasn't like, oh, now I took it, it's just healed. No, I faced this fear. Like, there is something deep down that I had to face, and I'm convinced that everybody has to face this. Like, if you feel fear, or you're anxious, or there's a tightness, you just have to face this. Really sit down with it and try to get back to order. Like, in the mind, there is supposed to be order. And when I took LSD, should I talk about it? I was looking at a tree, and it was like there were fruits on a tree. In reality, there were no fruits on a tree, but I saw fruits. But they were not fruits, they were skulls. So my inner hell projected outward, and I saw it everywhere. People say don't look in the mirror when you take this substance, but I did, just because I'm just that type of guy. I do stuff like that. So I did it anyway, and I saw like my face turned into a black hole where like little creepy creatures came out of it. And I looked at it. And that was just, it was a very dark experience, but it felt like I am confronting my shadow. So I confronted it, and it freed me in a way. I wasn't scared of darkness anymore. This is like when you are in darkness, you really feel like you are in darkness, you feel it all the time. Just like the guy in the comment, the person said he wakes up anxious and then he feels it, or she feels it throughout the day. Like when you know that you are experiencing a lot of darkness. And then you're listening to a lot of love and light people on YouTube, it doesn't work. You have to face the darkness up to the point that you are not scared of it anymore. Like that's my experience. I'm not telling you that this is the only way for everyone, but that was my way. Like I got to a point where I felt that love and light doesn't work. It's too strong. So I had to face the darkness until I wasn't scared of it anymore. And when I lost my fear of darkness, it just crumbled. It just vanished. So, and this had to happen because when the fear of darkness vanished, there was new space to actually integrate a new kind of love. A kind of love that is not just ignoring darkness, but it is completely aware that it exists. Even though it's not really in my current experience right now, I know that there are other expressions of consciousness that have this experience. So I'm not just saying everything is made out of love and light. I know it's true. But it can also assume the form of intense and evil darkness. Completely chaotic nervous system. So of course it helps to do breathing exercises and to meditate and to observe those thoughts. But when you're really in this darkness, you're always just kind of, there's like this voice that you're identifying with that is always asking, how long is it gonna take? When am I finally able to feel happiness again? How long is it gonna take? So I had this voice and I identified with this voice, and it's easy for me to tell you not to identify with it, but if it feels impossible, then it feels impossible. I'm not gonna tell you what's right, I'm gonna tell you what worked for me. So what worked for me is just to confront this darkness until I wasn't scared of it anymore. I had a girlfriend once and she was scared. And I told her, ask the darkness to come to you. Don't try to flee. Ask the darkness to become even more intense. And then she was like, it disappeared. I told her this, I gave her this advice because when I was a child I was very scared of, in my room it was just dark and there was always like some noises, you know. And I was scared of what was behind the door, so I couldn't sleep for nights. And one day I just woke up and I was ready to fight. So I got up and I took like a stick or something, and I was opening the door. I was ready, you know, and there was nobody here, so my fear disappeared. And then I learned that, you know, sometimes when it's necessary, you have to face that fear. And that's the only way the fear can disappear, because you have to know that you are the light. So when light, even though the light is fearful, the light confronts the darkness has to disappear. Yeah. So that's what came up. Didn't plan this, but I hope it helps somehow. To know that you actually do have the strength. You don't have to find new methods and techniques on how to increase the vibration and light, and you know, that's good. But when you're in the darkness, ask the darkness to become even more intense and see what it does. It sounds counterintuitive, but just try it and feel the fear and how scared you are. Because at some point it's just gonna disappear. It's just gonna disappear. It's just gonna, oh man, he's not scared anymore. She's not scared anymore. And then it's going to create a new space in which you can actually create a new type of order in which you can heal your nervous system. Yeah, I think that's it. So don't forget to like this video, comment and subscribe, and have a great day.